What is going on, guys? My name's Corrupt, and today we are going to be breaking down for you 4 of the best TH11 attack strategies that you guys can do against Single Target Infernos. This right here is going to be the first base design that we're looking at, so it is a somewhat of an island style base. Of course, it's not completely maxed, but of course, it's still a great example of really looking at how you guys can use a Sui Lalo with the wall wrecker. Now, yes, the Sui Lalo with the wall wrecker is a bit more interesting. First things first, you need to understand that the wall wrecker goes for the town hall. So in this example, we want to really take a look at exactly where is our key defenses and or key buildings. So these are going to be our key things right here, right in this area. Because we're able to get things like at least one air defense, we can get the CC, the enemy queen, the eagle artillery, the air sweeper, the wizard tower. We can get a lot there, and that's really all you really kind of need to think about when you're using this. So one of the biggest things I would say is if you're planning on using the wall wrecker, you either want to look for easy pathing or you want to look for low DPS areas. Here, of course, you may be worried about the Single Inferno. However, it's not really that big of a deal. As you can see from here is that the Single Inferno, despite going that far, we can use a free spell if we need to. We can send in the Warden with it if we want to. We're doing a smaller kill squad-esque attack. And you'll notice from here as well is if I do play this, you'll notice that the wall wrecker isn't entirely popping just yet. So it is a nice addition in order to get right in. Now, you'll see as well is that we are dealing with the enemy CC, which it is an E-drag. But it's not that hard to deal with. Poisoning it, the queen going in, she'll take care of it. Now, you'll also notice with the wall wrecker as well, we have a giant and bowlers within there. This is extremely useful because this is usually used in a small kill squad. So this is definitely something that I would totally recommend really trying out. Once you've gotten the value, though, you can really start your lava loon portion. And that's what is very, very important when you are doing this strategy, is you need to make sure that you're getting the value down. And after you've gotten that down, then you could actively go in with your lava loon. So on the left of me, you're going to see the exact number of balloons you're going to need for each defense. These are all grouped from Town Hall 11 all the way up to Town Hall 13. So it works for every single Town Hall level that can do lava loon. So feel free to screenshot this one, but this is what you're going to need if you're going to do any lava loon attack strategy. Now, you'll see from here is that we're starting onto the Single Inferno. Now, you've already noticed that we used the Warden with the Queen. We used it, without using it with the lava loon. So you're going to see it come in with the lava loon a little bit later on. But you'll notice that what we're doing is because there's not that many defenses in the base and a lot of them are on the outside, we don't really need the Warden for the most part. The Warden will move on with the lava loon, but it's definitely better when you have him on air. Now, another thing to really pay attention here is the use of the haste spells. What's extremely important about the haste spells is you want to make sure that you are getting them to the defensive buildings like the Expo, Inferno, Wizard Towers, stuff like that, in order to make sure that the air defense, or make sure that the balloons take down those buildings before they get taken out. So it's extremely important to really understand that, like you see here. We're using them where the balloons are going. That way we're able to easily get value. Like you'll see right here, we're going to use that haste spell exactly to where they can haste out over to the Single Inferno and then over to the Wizard Tower. Now, lava loon is very easy to do against these ring style bases. It's very easy to do against single target infernos, since multi infernos usually work best on defending against lava loon. Singles are definitely a lot weaker. So definitely, if you are looking to use a strategy, a little bit harder strategy, then this is definitely going to be for you. And of course, there were other spells I didn't mention, like the rage, the freeze, and of course the heal, but all of those can be used while you're using your lava loon. Just make sure though that you understand exactly when you're going to be placing them down, because you need to make sure that you're able to really get through a large portion of the base. So that, my friends, is going to be one of the examples that I have here, but we're going to move on into another one using another strategy here against Single Target Infernos. Next, guys, we have, again, a strategy that is very, very easy to use, very common, and that's DragBat. DragBat is definitely very easy to use, very simple, and I want you guys to really take a look at two different things. So I want you guys to really focus in on the funneling with the Sui hero and the baby dragon, sending the dragons in, what you're looking for and stuff like that. That's the base identification part. And then also the bat spell usage. And that is really going to help you really understand this whole strategy. I do have plans on doing live attacks in the future. So let me know if you guys do want to see a video with DragBat and live attacks, and I'm definitely going to bring that one to you guys. On top of this, I want you guys to really just take the time to look at what's going on. So the Sui hero is a fairly simple and pretty common way of creating a funnel with a dragon or with dragon attacks. Unless you're doing a queen walk or queen charge, you're typically going to use the Sui hero on, when you're looking for defenses like air defenses or wizard towers. In this example here, we've got the king going down, and he's going to be trying to clear up some of this so that the queen doesn't need to worry about it. On top of this, we want to make sure that we're taking down defenses like the archer tower or the air defenses, the wizard tower, stuff like that. And the X-bows, they are also in range. So that is definitely a very important thing to keep in mind as well. So we want to make sure that the queen is staying and getting rid of that. Now, on the opposite side, you may already notice that we have a baby dragon. I didn't show that, but you'll see that the use of the baby dragon is just clearing up defenses here, allowing us to make sure that we can easily get through that. Now, another thing that we're doing is once we've got that funnel all set, we can start sending in our dragons, kind of like this. You may notice that we are leaving this single inferno open, so it's definitely still possible, though, to get ourselves right into the base. Now, sometimes that may have been a better spot to use the stone slammer, but of course, there are a couple ways of using the slammer. You can either use it going in with the dragons like you see here, or you can send it in adjacent. So let's say you wanted to send it into the single inferno, you could do that. It's definitely possible, and it probably would net you more value. Remember, though, that we are looking again for the eagle artillery. So once we're able to get the eagle down, which again, we're sending our dragons using our rage spells in order to take that down. Once we do that, we can actively start sending in our bats. You may also notice that we're using the warden ability right over the dragons, since they are going into around the core of the base and they're starting to move themselves into a heavier area. It's definitely going to be time to pop that warden ability, keep them all alive. Now, of course, now we can drop in our bats. We've taken down the eagle. We can now send everything straight in. You'll notice that with the pathing of these bats is really easy. You can really easily see what is going through. Now, one of the biggest problems is going to be having air troops close to the bats. You can see right here that there is a tornado trap that will catch them all. So it's going to be extremely important. So right there, you see all those bats are dying out to the to that tornado trap. So you got to really keep in mind that you got to be careful of having air troops like the slammer, balloons, dragons right by the bats, just because they will be taken down. Now, of course, this one's going to really come close to the wire, but in this one, it's still a really good example. It may not have gone perfectly to plan. Of course, the bats all died out thanks to the tornado trap, but it's always good to understand the use cases of making sure that you're able to sort of take down the right defenses, when to start your bats and stuff like that. That's extremely important. Of course, just to make sure, you want to make sure again that you are being clear that you don't just have to use a bat wave like in this example. You could use a bat bomb, and you could use a bat bomb on something like a wizard tower or something like that. Those are definitely possible ways that you can do the DragBat. And remember, as I said, I will be having a video in the future doing live attacks, so you get to see what I get to do when using dragons. Other than that, though, you guys still get the picture of using this strategy a little bit more effectively. So it definitely gives you guys a little bit more of a chance to really understand exactly what I'm talking about. But let's go ahead and move on into another attack strategy that can go up against Single Target Infernos. Now, the next strategy here is something a little bit different. You'll see that we're using a Pekka Hog. Of course, some of you guys may not know this attack, or for those of you who have been subscribed for a long time, I have done this attack at Town Hall 10. Now, this strategy is almost like a kill squad attack with hogs. Instead, though, of using golems, you've got Pekkas. This is really where you can really use this very effectively. Pekkas are really nice to have, and combining them in order to create the funnel by just using 2 and then using 2 wizards behind, that can really set your funnel almost immediately. And then you could actively send these Pekkas right into the base and really allow you to get a lot of good value. That's exactly what you're trying to look for. Now, another big thing that you're trying to do is you're trying to clear a large section of the base. On this one here, you'll notice that we have a line of defensive buildings all on this outside perimeter. So what we want to do is we want to have that easy pathing around there. And even if we have to send them into the multi-inferno, then that's even better. Or, that's still fine as well. But the biggest thing here, this is a heavy kill squad. It may not look like a heavy kill squad, but it is going to be a heavy kill squad. We have Pekkas, the heroes, and the wall wrecker going right into there, including the warden. The warden's going to help protect the wall wrecker, protect the Pekkas, and protect the heroes from taking a lot of damage. Now, you'll see from here is that what we're doing is we're dropping in the poison, dealing with the enemy clan castle, but this is not going to stop that wall wrecker. The wall wrecker, even though it's being, it's being tanked there for the, against the single inferno, this does work against double singles. It does work against double singles. Hogs work against double singles, so this strategy will. And of course, you need to look at where that town hall is placed. And for the most part, you may already notice, but we're going to take care of the enemy queen. We already took out the enemy clan castle. So realistically, we already got down the king, the queen, and the CC all in that area from going in from 3 o'clock, which is almost the opposite area. And that's exactly what you're looking for. So when you're doing the hogs, you can sort of send them in surgically if you want, or just spam them in, but you're kind of just trying to make sure that they're working themselves into here. So you want to make sure that you're getting all your hogs to just kind of follow that straight path line. And that's going to allow you to have easy placement for your heal spells. It's going to allow you to kind of see exactly where you want to go with everything and stuff like that. So it's a lot easier to see what's going on. And that way, your hogs don't really, split at all, and they're staying in one straightforward line. That way you can use your heal spells more effectively, like you see here, and just allowing you to get a lot of really good value. So that's really all that this is just making sure that you're able to get as much value from the wall wrecker and the heroes, the heavy kill squad. Even though it doesn't look like it, it is a heavy kill squad, and that's really going to allow you to get a lot of value. Of course, this base design here is definitely a little bit more suitable for this. It's still a really nice strategy to kind of learn. I used it as well when I was at Town Hall 11, so maybe this is something that you guys want to see when I do my live attack, so definitely let me know in the comments below as well. So let's go ahead and move on into our final strategy, which is going to be something else. We're going to be seeing something where it's a little bit more common as well. Now, the last one here is a no-brainer. It's gonna be Hybrid. Hybrid is, of course, one of the best strategies currently in the game, and it's definitely something not to take lightly. Now, of course, I want you guys to understand the base identification, which it's just creating, pathing, dealing with the enemy clan castle, and that's really it. So if you can get stuff like the eagle, which is awesome, that's definitely going to be worth value. Other than that, that's really what you're trying to look for. So on this base here, I want you guys to really take a look at where the CC is. We can easily lure it out with the use of a Hog Rider, and then we can also use a balloon there to lure out that clan castle. So you need to make sure that you're taking a look at how big that radius is, and does it go over a defense and stuff like that. Now, when you are dealing with this, you can then go ahead and start your walk/charge. You want to make sure, though, that you are getting your queen into an area to where you can take down some defenses, like, for instance, the Eagle Artillery. So we're going to be following this line over to that in order to make sure that she's taking it down. Now, when she's dealing with the enemy CC, of course, you want to drop in that rage spell. What you're doing here is you're taking out the enemy clan castle, you're taking out certain defenses that are going to help for your hybrid, and on top of this, you are creating pathing. On this base here, we want to make sure that we're doing so. So by taking a look here, we are clearing up this zone, which means that what we're doing is we are clearing out this as zone 1. So this is definitely extremely important, as this is going to be the first area to where we want to make sure that we are taking down some of the defenses, creating one side of the funnel. On the opposite side here would be zone 3. This is going to allow us to send the stone slammer, like you see there, in order to sort of create a funnel. Then we could send our hybrid in as section 2. So that's definitely going to be the most important part here. So you'll see from here is that now we've got a funnel set and the hybrid is moving in. We've got the warden behind with the miners and the hog riders as they move through. Now, of course, when you are using the warden ability, you want to make sure that you're either popping it over things like going into the core and stuff like that. And, you know, it's definitely going to be very helpful when you can keep the miners and hogs together as a group. Other than that, though, it's a very simple strategy. There's really not a lot to this, other than the fact that you need to make sure that you're keeping your hogs and your miners protected. So that means that using the warren ability over the hog riders and the miners as they move through. Other than that, it can definitely help a lot, unlike in this case where the warden kind of switches over to everything else, doesn't really get much value with the ability, but you can still see easily gets through this entire example using the freeze spells. Like you see, you bring in freeze is never a bad option. Using him against single target infernos can definitely help, and they can really work up against them. So definitely I would suggest using freeze spells, especially if you're doing a charge against singles. And if you haven't looked at my queen walk or queen charge video, then I would suggest you guys check that out. There's a card up there. Feel free to check it out. It's definitely a good video, and I'll have it listed on my end screen as well. But hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. Hopefully you guys learned something from it. If you guys did, remember to leave a like on the video. It really does mean a lot. Remember to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you guys don't miss anything. And also, don't forget to let me know in the comments below if you guys want to see any of these individually in live attacks. And I definitely don't mind doing them. So let me know in the comments below what you guys think of that. Definitely something that I'm starting to get more interested in. On top of that, remember to go ahead and follow me on any of my social media, on whatever I stream on, which is of course on here on YouTube, but of course on Trovo and Twitch. So remember to follow me on there. And don't forget to go ahead and join any of the clans that you think that you are able to join. The links to their discords are in the description. With that being said, guys, that's going to do it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll be seeing you guys next time. Corrupt, signing out.